Lorgar Aurelian, the Primarch of the Word-Bearers Legion, stands as a tragic figure in a sprawling narrative of the Warhammer 40k verse. Unlike some of his brothers who succumbed to the temptations of chaos through ambition, pride, or strategic necessity, Lorgar's descent was driven by a profound and to some extent understandable desire, the need for faith. This video will delve into the intricate details surrounding Lorgar's fall, exploring the philosophical underpinnings, the manipulative forces at play, and the devastating consequences that stem from his unwavering search for divine truth. Greetings all, I'm your guide, the Archivist. Today I will dive into an overview of why Lorgar fell to chaos. Before we begin, please make sure to like and subscribe waypoints down below, so that more people can learn from the archives. Understanding Lorgar requires examining of his pre-imperial life on the world of Colchis. Raised by the priest Corpheron, Lorgar was indoctrinated into a rigid, theocratic society that venerated a pantheon of gods. He possessed a deep-seated yearning for a power greater than himself, a force that could provide meaning and order in the universe. This inherent religious inclination, coupled with prophetic visions hinting at the Emperor's arrival, shaped Lorgar's worldview and ultimately paved the way for his corruption. When the Emperor finally arrived on Colchis, Lorgar immediately recognized him as the divine being he had foreseen. He embraced the imperial truth, the Emperor's doctrine of reason and science, with zealous fervor. Lorgar dedicated his legion, the Word-Bearers, to spreading the Emperor's gospel throughout the galaxy, building magnificent temples, and converting entire populations to the imperial creed. However, this unwavering devotion proved to be Lorgar's undoing. The Emperor, a staunch advocate of secularism, viewed Lorgar's religious zealotry as a dangerous deviation from the imperial truth. He saw the worship of the Emperor as a hindrance to progress and a potential source for future instability. This fundamental clash of ideology reached its apex after the compliance of the world of Monarchia. The city, a testament to Lorgar's devotion and a shining example of imperial worship, was deemed heretical by the Emperor. He ordered the Ultramarines, under the command of Rabute Guilliman, to raze Monarchia to the ground as a public reprimand and a stark warning to Lorgar. This act of humiliation shattered Lorgar's faith in the Emperor. He felt betrayed and abandoned by the god he had dedicated his life to serving. The destruction of the Monarchia was not just the destruction of a city, it was destruction of Lorgar's worldview, his purpose and his sanity. He spiraled into a deep depression, questioning the very foundation upon which he had built his existence. It was during this period of profound despair that Lorgar encountered the whispers of chaos. Driven by his unyielding need for a higher power, he sought answers in forbidden text and arcane rituals. Guided by his adoptive father Corpheron and his first captain Erebus, both already corrupted by chaos, Lorgar began to explore the forbidden realms of the warp. Corpheron and Erebus played a crucial role in Lorgar's fall. They skillfully manipulated his vulnerability, exploiting his need for faith and presenting chaos as the true pantheon of gods, the powers that shaped reality. They carefully introduced him to the details of chaos worship, emphasizing the power and freedom that could be attained by embracing the ruinous powers. They painted the Emperor as a false god, a tyrant who suppressed the true nature of the universe. Lorgar, desperate for validation and driven by his inherent need for belief, gradually succumbed to the allure of chaos. He saw in the ruinous powers a reflection of his own desire, a force that acknowledged faith, rewarded devotion, and offered meaning beyond the material world. He embraced chaos not for power or conquest, but for spiritual fulfillment. He believed that the Emperor had lied, that the imperial truth was a sham, and that only through chaos could enlightenment be achieved. Consequences of Lorgar's fall were catastrophic. He initiated the Pilgrimage, a galaxy-spanning quest to discover the true nature of chaos. The Word-Bearers, now fully devoted to the ruinous powers, spread corruption and dissent throughout the Imperium, weakening its foundations and sowing seeds of the Horus Heresy. It was Lorgar's actions, born from his shattered faith and manipulated by the agents of chaos, that ultimately triggered the galaxy-wide civil war that nearly destroyed the Imperium. The Horus Heresy, instigated by Lorgar's corruption, stands as a defining event in the Warhammer 40k verse. It pitted brother against brother, shattering the Emperor's dream of a unified humanity, and ushered in an era of unending war and darkness. Lorgar's actions directly resulted in the deaths of billions, the corruption of endless worlds, and the permanent scar on the Emperor's psyche. Even after the Horus Heresy, Lorgar remained a devoted servant of chaos. He ascended to demonhood, becoming a powerful entity in the service of the ruinous powers. He continues to scheme and plot in the warp, seeking to undermine the Imperium and spread the influence of chaos throughout the galaxy. His legacy is one of betrayal, corruption, and the devastating consequences of misplaced faith. In conclusion, Lorgar's fall to chaos is a complex and tragic tale, driven by a unique combination of factors. His inherent need for faith, his disillusionment at the Emperor, and the manipulative influence of Cor Pharaon and Erebus all contributed to the descent into darkness. He wasn't driven by ambition or lust for power, but by a genuine, though misguided, search for truth and meaning. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unwavering belief, the seductive power of chaos, and the devastating consequences that can arise when faith is betrayed and manipulated. Lorgar's journey provides valuable details for understanding the forces at play in the Warhammer 40k verse, and the enduring struggle between order and chaos, faith and reason. He reminds us that even the most pious and well-intentioned individuals can be corrupted, and that the path to damnation is often paved with good intentions. His story continues to resonate within the grim darkness of the far future, a testament to the enduring power of faith, betrayal, and the relentless allure of chaos. And so I have now covered the content for this video, but if there's anything that has been missed, please share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like the and subscribe waypoints down below. In the grim dark of the far future, there is only war.